haven't left the house in like 5 days, so I'm gonna go to a coffee shop to draw. A few months ago, I found myself in a small creative rut, not feeling like painting or doodling or collaging or even taking photographs. So I decided to get my butt out of my home and do a creative photo walk, as well as to do some journaling in my passport-sized traveler's notebook and some paints. I thought the exercise of using old technology like my old Fujifilm X-T1, which is about a 10-year-old camera now, and using just my watercolor paints and my passport-sized traveler's notebook would be the right creative challenge to boost creativity and just to get me to create things again. But let's go on a walk and take some photographs. I think the hardest part of encountering a creative blockage or falling into a creative rut is feeling like all the creativity in your soul and your heart is sucked out. And it sounds really dramatic, but if you've encountered something like a creative rut or a creative blockage, it kind of feels like that. It just feels like there's an absence of something in your soul or in your being. It sounds really dramatic, but it's hard to get beyond that. And I think creative blockages and ruts are a sign of, burnout and feeling very tired. And I think it's a time for us to rest, but also to not challenge ourselves, but just to try something new. I was feeling a little bit creatively drained in my personal journaling and collaging. I just didn't like anything that I was making, and I feel like sometimes journaling felt like a chore a few months ago. And so I actually decided to take myself on this date with myself and to challenge myself. I challenged myself to take photos with my 10-year-old camera that I brought back from Canada. And it was a nice exercise to take photos using a manual focus, and I used the lens from my old Canon FD film camera. And yeah, the FD lens on there was a manual focus, and it kind of helped me be more deliberate with my shots and not relying on autofocus like on my newer camera. And also in terms of journaling that day, I decided not to bring any collaging materials because that's what was making me feel a little bit not claustrophobic, but a little bit drained, or I didn't just feel creative, collaging during this time. And so I really forced myself to use my watercolor paints, and it was great. I ended up using my smaller palette from Travelers Company USA X Art Toolkit, and I just brought this and a water brush, and I had my pencil case there, but the paper towel at Rose Park came in clutch. And I kind of spent a good chunk of the afternoon just painting slowly. I'm not the fastest painter, and I kind of just let the act of painting take over. I tried to not play any music in my ears, and I just let the ambiance of the cafe and the music playing in the cafe kind of take over. And it was a nice way to feel a little bit more mindful of the current situation, and it felt very grounding to feel very, I guess the word is grounded in that moment, and just focusing on the paint and listening to my surroundings. And I feel like it really helped me creatively heal. I wouldn't say that I was ready to tackle on big journaling projects after this, but it did help feed my soul, and it helped me look at my creativity in a new light. And I felt very reinvigorated, and I felt inspired to slowly create more again, because I was able to see that despite the challenges and the parameters that I set for myself, like only shooting with my old camera and just journaling with these simple tools, I was able to create something that I really liked and that I was proud of. And it felt nice to kind of remind myself that I don't need all these cool new gadgets or cool supplies to create things that I enjoy and create things that I like. So yeah, let's just keep on painting, and I'll check in with you in a little bit. I think at the end of the day, living a creative life doesn't mean that you need to feel creative every day. Life is full of ups and downs, and it ebbs and flows, and we kind of just have to ride that wave and take advantage of when we're feeling creative, but rest when we're not feeling that creative. You can't force yourself to do anything. And obviously, there are times where you gotta sit down and kind of just work and create something, especially if you work in the creative field. But I think in general, we should really listen to our bodies and also find creative ways to challenge us and to always reimagine and re-look at how we approach our creative process. Sometimes we might feel so fed up with doodling and drawing in our journals, and maybe it's a time to lean in to collaging, or maybe using a different medium, drawing with oil pastels, or changing things up. I feel like as creative journalers and as creative people, we can always readjust and re-examine our situation and kind of continue on our path. Like I said earlier, there's going to be ups and downs on this road, and I think as long as we stay steadfast and continue to rely on our values, we'll definitely make it through whatever creative rut that we're going through. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check me out on Patreon, and I will leave Job from the past with a final ment. Okay, you made it to the end of this video. I hope you had fun like journaling along and going to a coffee shop and just getting creative. I know that it's hard to like draw outside of like your home because it's a little intimidating. I'm still kind of nervous, but honestly, everyone at the coffee shop is just busy doing their own thing and chatting with their friends or family that they're with, or studying or doing work. So yeah, don't feel self-conscious, and my biggest piece of advice is to just go out and just do it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you want more of these like cafe sketching dates, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. I love you. Bye.